Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Commissioner, for being here with us today. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that probably your agency touches and deals with my constituents more than any other part of the federal government. I have tens of thousands of seniors in my district, and this is what I hear about the most from that community. And I specifically am interested in hearing how you plan to continue to decrease. And you've talked a little bit about this, so let me just get this out there, and then I'll do a more specific question. But decrease wait times, increase efficiency, and how you plan to fully staff the agency. I couldn't agree more with what you said in your testimony, and here you repeated it as well, that it's time to give the taxpayers the customer service they deserve and that they have already paid for. So in the sense of customer service, in the rural parts of my district, which is in terms of land mass of my district, this is the largest part of my district. Obviously, the urban area has the majority of people, where a lot of my seniors are as well. But in terms of the rural area, that's the largest land mass of my district. My seniors have to travel over an hour to the nearest SSA office. What is the agency doing to address the customer service needs of rural seniors and those with disabilities who may have trouble physically accessing facilities and at the same time may have challenges with technology or some of the other things that you may offer? So let's start with that one.
Yes, sir. And it's also a challenge. Also a challenge in Native American reservations as well, remote areas. We're doing a lot more with phone conferencing, also with teleservice, the Zoom sorts of things. It's there are 1,211 field offices. The ones that are at the greatest risk of imploding with continued attrition and downward movement of staff are the rural areas.
Mm-hmm.
Because if in a rural office, for example, you only have a staff of 7 and 4 of them say, I've had it, the workload's too much, I'm out of here, that office might lose. I mean, the Grim Reaper doesn't care if that office loses all of its Title II experts. If it doesn't have a Title II experts, we're not like the United States Marine Corps where we can tell somebody in Phoenix, you're now going out there, because they'll say, no, I'm not. I'm going to an easier job with less work. So it's a real challenge in the rural areas, which is why the anomaly in the CR would be so very, very important. I never know from one night to another when I'm going to get a call that says this field office might implode. We got to try to flex.
Can we talk about the staffing here for a bit
Yes,
as
sir.
well? So, what would you say is the primary reason for the shortage in staff? And in rural areas, I can imagine that is attracting people to those job sites potentially. Is it pay? Is it workload? And on the same note, what are the competing industries with that SSA finds itself losing for top talent?
Yeah, thank you. The biggest driver to the demoralization of this agency is their sense that none of you care what they do. And they see their workloads growing. So in the FEV surveys, the Federal Employee Viewpoint surveys that they do every year, until I help pick them up off the mat and remind them of their true selves, our agency listed itself the worst place to work in the federal government. And that's a stunning decline from 12 years ago when they rated themselves one of the best places to work. But that's a reflection of the fact that their workload's been going up, 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 and the number of colleagues around them going down, down, down. So a lot of people in these field offices ask themselves every day, am I going to be the last one here to turn off the lights? So it's really the workload that stresses people out. Where do they go? They go to insurance companies that have simpler programs to process claims. They go to the VA, where they can get paid a lot more and handle simpler claims. They go to any number of places. I mean, a starting salary for somebody in our agency is around $45,000, and there's a lot of training and complexity. So they go to easier jobs with less work. That's what's happened. I do believe that if you were to get our funding back up to that 1.2%, and the anomaly here would be a step in the right direction, I believe simply stopping the downward slide of fewer and fewer staff and bringing it up would help us enormously on retention. In fact, last year to this year, we had the biggest uptick in participation in the FEV survey of the history of the FEV survey of any agency. Our leaders' lead score went up 5. Our engagement score went up 3. And that's, squares with the fact that our productivity went
Well,
up
I'm out of time, and I don't want to go over. And I don't mean to interrupt you. As much as I hear the statistics of the improvements, it doesn't reflect what I'm hearing from my constituents when they call into frustrations with your agency. And as I learn more about this, and listen, I'm completing my freshman year, so I still have a lot to learn. But I'll tell you this: when I look at people that are working for our government, I'm very impressed with their dedication, and I'm grateful for them, from Border Patrol agents to what you all do as well. At the same time, the morale issue can come from a lot of places, and we do care. We do care about our constituents and our seniors, and we do care about the workforce there as well. We want to make sure that it's effective, that it's efficient, and that the leadership also that they're under reflects what you're saying here today. So as I look at the potential shortage of staff here, it can come from a lot of places, including leadership within the agency. So we want to make sure that when they turn off those lights, as you said, when they leave, it's not just their home light from working at home. It's also that they're showing up to work and that they're executing on what the mandate is from the American people. So with that, Chairman, I yield back.
Yeah, these are some of the hardest working people I've ever worked with. And to be very clear, Mr. Chairman, we have turned this ship around, and it is headed in a better direction. But we are not back to the high level of customer service we had before our staffing was reduced by Congress to a 50-year low.